Hello there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Ferré and I'm a 4th grade teacher in Maryland. I am also my school's e-coach, which means I help teachers in my school integrate educational technology in their classrooms. For today's video, I wanted to walk you through how to use Plickers, which is a great way to gather formative assessment data for your students. Your students don't need any individual devices, but yet they will be super engaged. Let's start with the basics. To access the Plickers website, you can just type plickers.com into your browser, or you can use the link down in the description box. There is a free version, which is what I use, as well as a paid version, which costs $8.99 a month, and it allows you to share your content, add images, and a few other things. On Plickers, you are able to create your own multiple choice questions for your students to answer. You will display the question for the entire class, and your students will each have a unique QR code looking card that they will turn depending on their answer choice. Each side of the card is labeled with A, B, C, or D, and students will hold their card so that the letter they are selecting is at the top. You will use your phone or another device with a camera, such as a tablet, to scan the room. Your device will instantly register each student's answer choice, and you will be able to see who answered correctly and who answered incorrectly. You can then download a spreadsheet with all of the data to access after the lesson. That is the overview of how it works. So now let's talk about some of the specifics. We will start with the materials you need. First of all, you need a device to display the question for students to answer, such as a computer with a projector. For example, I usually access Plickers website on my desktop computer in my classroom and then project it onto the board for my students to be able to see. Next, you will need a device with a camera to scan student cards, such as a phone or a tablet. For example, I always use the Plickers app on my personal cell phone to scan the room. You will need to download the Plickers app onto this device and log in with the same account in order to use it to scan student cards. Finally, your students each need a Plickers card. You can download or print the Plickers cards for free from the Plickers website by clicking on Help and then clicking on Get Plickers Cards. You can choose between multiple formats based on the needs of your students. It is best to print the cards on cardstock so they are thicker and hold up throughout the year, since students will use the same card each time you use Plickers. Normally, I would suggest to laminate the cards because I suggest laminating almost everything. But with Plickers, you actually don't want to laminate the cards because you don't want them to be shiny. That tends to result in a glare and it makes it difficult for your camera to scan them. Now, if you have matte lamination, you could absolutely use that. Otherwise, you can have students glue the card on the inside cover of a notebook so they always have access to it and it lasts throughout the year. Another option is actually to purchase a set of ready-made Plickers cards on Amazon. The cards have a matte lamination and are super durable, so you can reuse them year after year. I will link them down in the description box if you are interested in purchasing them. Next, let's go over how to create questions and use Plickers with your students. After you create an account, you will need to create your class by clicking on New Class on the left side of the screen. You will give your class a name, and you can create multiple classes if you teach different groups of students. Then you will add your students to the class by clicking on Add Students. It will automatically assign each student a number based on the order you entered student names, and this number corresponds to the specific Plickers card assigned to that student. For example, if student A is number 1, then they will receive Plickers card labeled 1. If you need to customize the numbers or edit your class, you can click on the class on the left side and then click on Edit Students. You can then click on a student and edit their card number, edit their name, archive the student, or delete the student. Now you are ready to start creating questions. Click on Your Library on the left side and then click on New Set. You can name your set at the top and type in your questions and answers. You can choose between graded questions and survey questions based on how you are using Plickers with your students. You also have the option to import questions by copying and pasting them from another source. But you may have to make a few adjustments based on the formatting. After you are done adding questions, you can click on the Home button to return to your library. You can add the question set to the queue for one or more of your classes by clicking the arrow on the right side of the question set and then clicking Add to Queue. You can then select the class or classes you want to add the question set to. Now, there are a few different ways to actually start using Plickers with your class, but I'm going to show you the easiest way for me personally. When you are ready to start using the question set with your students, click on Now Playing at the top. This should be on the device that will display the questions for your students, such as the desktop computer and a projector. Then you will want to run the Plickers app on your other device, such as your phone or tablet. Select the class and you will see the question set you queued. If you didn't queue the questions, you can still access your questions by clicking Add from Library. You will click on the first question and it will appear on the main screen for students to see. Students will read the question and decide on their answer. Once they are ready to display their answer, they will hold their Plickers card so that the letter they are choosing is at the top. They want to make sure they aren't covering any of the code with their fingers and aren't blocking the codes of anyone else around them. On your device, you will click the blue circle at the bottom and allow the app to access your camera. Then you will hold your device so it is able to see the cards in the frame. As the device scans the cards, the student name will pop up with a red circle if they answered it incorrectly or a green circle if they answered it correctly. Once their name has appeared once, they can put their card down because it has already been scanned. You will see a count at the top of your screen with the number of cards that have been scanned. Students will also see their name change color on the main screen so that they know their card has been scanned. Once you are done, you can click the red stop button at the bottom. You can show the class a graph of how many students chose each answer and can show them the correct answer, or you can choose just to show them the correct answer by using the buttons above the student's name on the main screen or on the other device you're using. When you are ready to move on to the next question, click the forward arrow at the bottom. After you have finished the Plickers session with your students, you can review the class results by clicking on Reports on the left side, and you can review individual student results by clicking on Score Sheet on the left side. That wraps up the basic tutorial for Plickers, which you can use as an exit ticket, check for understanding, or other forms of formative data. If this tutorial was helpful for you, please give the video a thumbs up and share it out with your teacher friends. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for supporting my YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of my older videos, you can use the 2 links right down here. If you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, you can use the link right up here. The links to all of my social media sites, my Teachers Pay Teacher store, my merchandise store, and my Amazon store are in the description box, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.